NES Chest.
Hey everyone, NES Chest here. I'm back, and today I want to talk about a pretty cool retro game, uh, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Nice label. Alright, let's load this guy up. Published by Jellicoe and released in December of 1992, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles is a game very few have had the opportunity of playing. At the time of its release, about 90% of the NES games had already been on the market, and most people had moved on to the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. It's actually quite fun if you can get over the challenge, and this game is challenging. I'll tell you, it's pretty tough. The reason this game is difficult is also the reason it's actually quite enjoyable, and that's the health bar. You see, Indy can only take a few hits. Now, this actually makes you feel quite vulnerable, so whenever you do anything, get anywhere in the game, you actually feel really good, like you've kind of surpassed the expectation. The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles was a very short-lived TV series developed by George Lucas. The show lasted 2 seasons, and only 24 episodes were actually aired on TV. I remember watching it as a kid with my family and thinking, hey, this show's pretty good. It was neat because you had Indy go to different historical events throughout his life. So he might be, uncovering a crypt in Egypt, or, fighting in the World War, or meeting Roosevelt, or some other famous historical figure. So it was definitely educational. Indy was played by 4 different characters, each one depicting a different era of his life. And actually, Harrison Ford played in a few episodes. Now, the game actually resembles the show a lot. The typical episode started with very old Indy recounting some of his stories of his youth, and the same thing happens in this game.
He was the last emperor of Austria.
What a drag.
Well, not all stories have happy endings.
Guess not.
And the story of the game is basically you fighting against Germans and trying to stop their plans for, world domination. You will encounter some famous historical figures such as Pancho Villa, the Red Baron, Billy Bishop, and Big Bertha the Tank. Indy starts every level equipped with his whip. If you destroy a crate, you can pick up a new weapon. And the weapons are actually pretty varied. You can get things like rocks or grenades, handguns, shotguns, daggers. I actually like the items that move in projectile motion. It's pretty satisfying to kill an enemy as your dagger falls towards them. The thing is, whatever weapon you're equipped with, if you get hit just once, you'll lose it, and then you'll be barefisted. And from that point, if you get hit once more, you die. If you get past almost any enemies barehanded, it's considered a miracle. And it's actually kind of an adrenaline rush if you do it, because most of the time you're just gonna die. I was not expecting to get pile-drived here. There is a way to gain an extra hit, and that is if you pick up Indy's hat or a gas mask. If you already have Indy's hat and the gas mask, you can get an extra life. And I kind of exploited that here in this the waterfall stage. You can see you can get 9 lives by just moving back on the screen over and over again and picking up a new gas mask. Make no mistake about it, this is a game of memorization. You're going to play, the first level, you're probably going to die, and then you're going to try it again. You're going to get a little bit better and get a little bit further, and you're going to die, and then you're going to start again, and then you're going to play the level again and get a little bit further. And each time getting a little bit better and a little bit better because you memorize the things, you know how the enemies are attacked, you figure out their patterns. So it's really a game of memorizing all the patterns, where everything is, where the enemies are, how they're going to hurt you. And it's a game of mastery, and those are the kind of games that are actually really fun to get better and better at, and as I said, master. The bullets in this game go so fast. Let's look at the bullets just here. Look how fast this is. 1. Alright, now let's compare that to bullets in Contra. 1, 2, 3. I'm not comparing the quality of this game to the quality of Contra. There's no comparison there. But what's interesting is that in Contra, you actually have time to dodge bullets in the air, and that's kind of fun. Here, you have essentially no time. Basically, you have to react before the bullets even come out. I guess in a sense it's more realistic, but it just makes it a lot more difficult. For the most part, the game's an action side-scroller. Although the back of the box will tell you there's 19 stages, I really say there's only 8 different levels in the game. There is a stage where Indy flies a plane, but it's not too much of a diversion from the regular gameplay. The quality of the music in this game is about as varied as the levels that Indy travels to himself, which is pretty varied. You see, there's some good music in this game, and there's also some really bad music. Here's some good music. Indy in the trenches in France. The music in this level makes you feel really stealthy, because you're infiltrating a German base. I think it fits quite well. Unfortunately, this song is less than stellar. I mean, I get it. You're climbing cliffs, so I guess it's supposed to be, dangerous, but it's just so screechy and annoying. I would gladly listen to this screech over the deafening screeches of this song. All in all, the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles is a great game. It's definitely a game I recommend. If you're looking for something a little more obscure, something a little different, but still holds the core principles of good, solid gameplay for action side-scrollers, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles is the game for you. It's definitely going to go up in value. I mean, you could say almost any NES game is going to go up in value, but this one I think is a little bit undiscovered, and I really believe that more and more people are going to look into it and play it, and its value is definitely going to go up in the future. It's a challenge, but it's definitely worth it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review, and until next time, take care.